Welcome in along with Mike Renner. I'm Steve Palazzolo. Today discussing Notre Dame's playoff chances. It's all brought to you by Eckrich, the official smoked sausage of the college football playoff. Mike, we've got Notre Dame sitting here undefeated. Full disclosure, you're an alumni, so don't get too excited. All right, we're going to be completely unbiased here. But if we look at Notre Dame, they beat Michigan, they beat Stanford, perhaps the two toughest tests on their entire schedule. So as we look forward to the rest of their schedule and we look at how this team is built, are we just expecting Notre Dame to end up in the playoff at this point?
I'm expecting them to end up in the playoff. I don't know about you, but like you mentioned, the two toughest games in their schedule, they've already won. They beat Michigan at home. They beat Stanford at home. Now, this is going to be a tough test this upcoming week against Virginia Tech. That's a solid football team on both sides of the ball. It'll be a challenge on the road. They haven't had a true road challenge yet, so we'll see how that turns out. But if they clear that hurdle, I mean, they're going to be favored and favored by a lot in the rest of their games this season. You look Pitt, Navy, Northwestern, FSU, and then at USC to end the season. That's not a cakewalk, but at the same time, none of those teams are necessarily striking fear in the hearts of Notre Dame.
And if you're looking at Notre Dame potentially slipping up, maybe USC figures it out by the end of the season a little bit more with their freshman quarterback, more experienced. Maybe Florida State's early season lull, they could turn it around. Still a very talented team. Any game against Navy is a little testy when it comes to Notre Dame, right? At Northwestern's a tough place to play. So look, it's not a complete cakewalk, but like you said, they should be the team to beat in all of those games remaining.
And even going 11-1, they can still end up making the playoffs when it's all said.
And that's the other point. A lot of people are making the point about, what's a one-loss Notre Dame team going to be? Now, the only problem is if maybe they lose late to USC, and it depends on how it happens. But I like the construction of this Notre Dame team. I thought last year, early in the year, when they were winning a ton of games and then they kind of folded down the stretch, they were just squeaking by, right? I don't think they were as good maybe as their record showed last year, but this team is built differently than previous Notre Dame teams.
Yeah, I think it's built differently and for a handful of reasons. The biggest being Ian Book looks like the best quarterback they've had in a while there, especially in terms of what he can do as both a passer and a runner of the football. He can make plays with his legs, and he has been incredibly efficient already. 86.4 grade as a passer. And Stanford defense, while it's not one of the best Stanford defenses we've ever seen, they're no slouch. They're a well-coached team. To do what he did against them, very impressive.
Yeah, he's just been unbelievable as a passer. Just from an accuracy standpoint, his adjusted completion percentage about 20 points higher than what Brandon Wimbush has. So just from an efficiency standpoint, and then you look at guys like Miles Boykin on the outside and some of the playmakers that they have, running back and receiver, they have a quarterback that can get them the ball, and we've got guys that can create after the catch and with the ball in their hands.
Yeah, Miles Boykin and Chase Claypool, both fantastic. Boykin already 5 contested catches on the season, 10 explosive plays. He's probably their best threat in the outside. And they're guys, these big wide receivers that can make plays, not necessarily even when they're open. You know the average ball skills of a defensive back in college football. These guys are going to be able to make a handful of plays downfield, even if they're not necessarily have a ton of space. We see Booking giving them chances after chances on back shoulder throws, that sort of thing. And then from what we saw from Dexter Williams, the running back, who was injured early in the season, coming back, looks like a home run threat, looks like the perfect addition to what that offense was missing.
Whew, man, I'm stuffed.
Me too.
Man, I think I could have taken you back in the day.
Taking me where? What are you, 140?
Maybe. I had some game.
You're talking about flag football, right?
Nope. Paper. I'd whip your tail in paper football.
You carry around a paper football?
Every day. I don't leave home without it.
Kick it off, big boy.
You're on.
Eckrich. Get Saturday done right.
And then defensively, we're just a couple years removed from Notre Dame getting literally a handful of pressures per game. Most teams are getting 10 to 20 pressures per game, and they were getting a handful. They were unable to get after the quarterback. Now all of a sudden, Jerry Tillery, interior defensive line, he can get after the quarterback. They've got edge rushers who can get after the quarterback, and maybe the best linebacking duo in the entire country.
I think it is the best linebacking duo in the entire country with Drew Tranquill and Tavon Cooney. And to me, this is the best Notre Dame front seven since last time they went to the national championship with Manti Te'o, Stephon Tuitt, Lewis Nix, which was a very good front seven. I think this is their best since then, and I think this one could even affect the passing game a little more. And what we've seen from Jerry Tillery has a grade over 90 this season. Like you mentioned, a handful of other pass rushers, Julian Akwara, Khalid Kareem, can both get after the passer. Both are almost at 20 pressures on the season. So they have 3 pass rushers, one of the best linebacking duos, the best linebacking duo, in the country.
You said they're definitely the best.
At that point, you have a front seven. That's the recipe for success in college football.
Tavon Cooney's got a 90.3 overall grade. We saw the Nice interception, pick six to kind of seal the deal for Notre Dame the other night. So we'll give a little bit of a prediction time here. You can put your homer hat on if you want, but Notre Dame, are we looking at an undefeated regular season, a one-loss regular season? And again, is this enough to get them into the playoff?
I think they go undefeated during the regular season. I think it will be enough. I think it's consistent. A team that's built to consistently win games in college football when they have the advantage. So I think they're going to.
So there you have it. Notre Dame is in great shape as they head down the stretch. Already took care of Michigan, already took care of Stanford, and they should be the team to beat for the rest of their schedule. That'll do it for us. It's all been brought to you by Eckrich, the official smoked sausage of the college football playoff. Don't forget to pick up Eckrich smoked sausage at your local grocery store for this weekend's tailgate or homegate party. And make sure to visit EckrichFootball.com for great game day recipes and to enter their season-long $1 Million Challenge.